final chance to call.
So, The Way We Weren't. My name is Guy Gross. I'm the composer on Farscape, and this is the first episode I ever composed. It's called The Way We Weren't. Fun thing about entering into Farscape for me was that I was actually asked to work classically, which is really my favourite style. I'm a classically trained composer. And what better episode to test me was really this one. It's just a terrifically emotional episode with Erin looking into her past and thinking perhaps some of the things she did weren't so nice. So it allowed me to really play around emotionally. Some of the sequences are really quite mellow. I actually end up doing very little to say quite a lot. So yeah, a lot of the score was just a lovely string pad. You may know I work very electronically. I wish I had the budget for an orchestra for all the episodes, but we don't. I occasionally inject something real. There's an episode called Eat Me, which is one of the most real episodes where I do a lot of additional stuff, which I actually am doing an extra for that as well. So if that interests you, spool along to the Eat Me extra. But this episode, as most of them, is completely electronic, so I have all my synthesizers here. I write by myself, I score what I see, I express what I can musically from really what I see on the pictures, so I don't start music until I have a fine cut of the film. Sometimes there'll be some visual effects still coming along, so I can't get everything done, and I may wait for a couple of shots to come through, but mostly I wait for the pictures to be complete and then I start. I've got anywhere between a week and 2 weeks to do an episode, and normally I can knock it over in 3 or 4 days and leave a couple of days up my sleeve to do any fix-ups or changes that the directors may want from me. But all in all, it's a terrific procedure. I kind of love being the only one involved in the music. It means the buck stops with me, and I sit back and watch, and I let the story really tell me what to do. Yes, we have a brief, and maybe it's a good time to explain. We have a briefing session for every episode. We meet with the editor, the sound guys, the director, and myself, and we watch it top to tail, talk about where music should go and shouldn't go, even sound effects where they should go and shouldn't go. So hopefully there's not too many surprises when we all come together at the final mix and put it together and go, oops, I didn't know there was music going there. So there's not a lot of that, thankfully. One of the funny things are that Farscape, there's quite a lot of music. So it's almost a case of, where will there not be music so we can go with some of the effects. But, we're really pleased that it's a fantastic sound experience. And, I couldn't ask for a better project to work on. Some more things about The Way We Were, obviously, or The Way We Weren't. The military aspect was really important. So, I went out with a good old snare drum, and they are sort of underscored under the general pads of, A lot of my harmonies are very Bachian based. Bach is a big influence on the way I write. So, if anyone showed it, he showed it that sometimes just good, solid harmony can express so much emotionally. And so that's really what I use as much as I can underneath dialogue, underneath romantic scenes. It's a terrific way to express musically what you want to express. And I just follow what I see on pictures.
I have been bonded to this Leviathan for 21 cycles. 2 minds, 2 bodies, intertwined as one. Whatever your secret project is, I will not participate.
This Leviathan will do what I wish if you lead her to do so.
You peacekeepers subjugate us, torture us, and now you expect us to cooperate with you? You have no understanding of the covenant between Leviathan and Pilot. Another pilot.
He's being held down at the transport bay awaiting your decision.
I insist you reverse the control collar anesthetic and reawaken this Leviathan at once!
You insist? What is taking so long?
It's a really good scene to demonstrate what I try to do. If you look through that scene again, I try and follow word for word what's going on. So I really helped with some timpani rolls underneath this pilot, so as she got angrier on her anger, and certainly that camera move across to Crace, I score it to let us know, bad guy. In some way it's kind of obvious and maybe even a bit cliche, but my job is to tell the story, and whatever devices I can use to tell that story, I will use. And of course, I don't want people to think that what I'm doing is cheesy, so the last thing I want to do is bring attention to the music. So for that reason, I underdo rather than overdo. But there are the bombastic moments in Farscape, and I certainly am not one to hold back when they need to be big. But in this instance, it was just follow the dialogue, follow the performance, follow the editing. And if you listen closely, I hope that I follow most of those things as accurately as possible.
I'm offering her one last chance to see the folly of her...
You have secured a replacement pilot.
Yes, Captain, but...
Fire! How long will it take to replace it?
I can't be certain until we extract the body.
Stop wasting my time. Get your unit working! Move!
How far down there do you think it is?
I don't know. We'll find out soon enough.
I hate waste removal.
Keep your opinions to yourselves. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Where'd you find this?
Top tier? Digging through all the dreadnoughts up there?
Must be some kind of peacekeeper recording device.
Did you see what I see? This is Erin. It shows she's been
Peacekeepers must have kept these things running 24/7 to spy on their people.
Crichton, that...
So that's really the end of that first sequence, and it was the very, very first cue I wrote. I was really excited about being on the job. And I hope that the audience gets a real sense of peace and calm in the full-on opening sequence. And then we come to this calm of Crichton and Chiana talking about this kind of huge discovery that they've just made, and sets us up for the intrigue to come. It's one of those episodes where music has really, I hope, helped that emotional level. One of the things that I know the director was particularly pleased with was some of the more emotional moments between, I can't remember his name, Velaric, I think, and Aaron, when they're almost kissing but not quite. That's a very difficult thing to score. Do you score it totally syrupy, or do you wait for the kiss to happen, or do you score it just as the kiss happens? That sort of dilemma of where do you go? Do you tell the audience what's coming up, or do you tell them what's just happened, or do you let them know after the event how to feel about it? And that's a balance that a composer has to make all the time, and a director helps you find the right way for that. But I know that in this episode, the director was particularly pleased the way I interpreted that. So that's always the challenge, to make sure that we are all on the same page: composer, director, sound, editors, DOP, actors. If we are all telling the same story, then hopefully what comes out at the end is a nice, polished project. Hope you really enjoy it. Thanks for listening.